everyone, welcome to the weekly update. There's a lot of things we're going to get to in this video, and there's a lot of new videos coming your way. A couple things I want to mention though, a couple literally, are these two. We just got back in stock the Aquatic UV filters for tanks. What makes this so wonderful is it is a very small UV that you can put inside the actual tank without any plumbing or anything like that. Sticks to the wall of the aquarium just like a heater, and it can be used as a power head for circulating water, but the best part of what it is it'll keep green water, cloudy water, and parasites out of your tank, at least out of the water column. So if you're one of those people that likes to run your lights a lot, feed heavy foods that might have phosphates in them, things like that, it is fantastic to have a UV filter in your tank. It's fantastic to have it in your most tanks anyway, but these are very, very affordable cousins to much more expensive UV filters that you see on larger tanks, larger marine tanks and things like that. They're very effective. They're designed to be in smaller tanks. So if you're having any problems with cloudy water, green water, things like that, or just worried about the health of the tank in general, a UV sterilizer is definitely something you want to ask us about when you come in. Now let's get on to more stuff. We always talk about the tanks that we have here at Fishy Business that you can buy. What we very rarely do is talk about the tanks that we don't have here at Fishy Business that you can buy. And what you're looking at right here is a 300-gallon we custom designed for a gentleman that's going to be a killer freshwater tank. Very simple, but very cool and something you don't normally see. So one of the things that I would urge you to do, especially this time of the year, is if you've ever decided or wanted to play around with doing something customized, we at Fishy Business, we can do that too. Okay, so one other thing I want to talk to you before we get to the fish, and this is important to me. We've tried in the past to get more involved with you guys with sending pictures of your aquariums and things like that, and that has been met with mixed results. So the call to arms is this. What I'd like you to do is pay very close attention to our Facebook post in the next couple of days. Kat's going to have something on there to send pictures of your aquarium, whether it's fresh, whether it's salt, whether it's dry. If you have an aquarium that you're proud of in your house, please send pictures to a special Facebook post that will be done. Kat will then ask whoever she picks to do a short video, maybe 1 to 2 minutes long, for us to post in this video. What I want to do is every week try to have your videos, our customers' videos, on our video platform. That gives a chance for the world to see what you're doing and what your tanks are like, gives us a chance to boast about who our customers are. And if we do pick yours to be in the video, you'll get a $25 gift certificate to the store. So, having said all of that, I'm sure I left something out. Whatever I did, Kat will have in the Facebook post that will follow shortly. So get your pictures together, get your cameras together, get me some pictures and posts and things like that, and hopefully we can feature you here next week or the week after at the latest, and let everybody see what you're doing.
Hi everyone, welcome to the saltwater portion of the weekly update. My name is Reagan and I'm going to point out a couple of the fish that I think are top notch that I want to touch on so I can show you guys some of the things that I got in the store. I try to keep it a wide variety for everyone. People that have nano tanks, nano reef tanks in general, fowler tanks, aggressive tanks. I try to make sure that I have at least something for everyone when you come into the store. So I am going to point out some things, a lot of variety in what I'm going to point out. But before I show you what's actually in the store, again this week, we've been doing it the past few weeks, but again this week I'm going to touch on 5 fish that are going to be a little bit more expensive, a little bit more of a rarity type of saltwater fish that we can get in for you. We're starting this, we've been doing it I think a month, this weekly update that we've been doing it. It's something really cool that we're gonna try to be able to bring in more of these expensive fish for you guys. So first we're gonna touch on that, and then I'm gonna walk you around and show you all of the cool things that I have in the store for you to come pick up. Hi everyone, Reagan here. So now I'm gonna point out 5 of the more expensive, more exotic rarity fish that we can get in for you this coming week. So we're gonna start off with a angelfish. This is gonna be your tiger angel. So tiger angels are definitely a rare angel. Not a lot of people have them. Not a lot of people, including stores like us, can even get them. So it's pretty cool that our vendor actually was able to get some of these in for us to order. Again, like I say every week, I don't have exact inch size measurements, but it's a trusted vendor and I know whatever size they say it is, it's gonna be true to that size. So the tiger angel size that I can get for you is gonna be a medium. So it's already gonna have a lot of good size on it and a really good weight on it as well. Next fish is going to be the black ribbon eel. So a lot of people are familiar with the blue ribbon eels. The black ribbon eels are literally the exact same, except instead of the blue coloration on the body with the yellow highlights, this is a jet black eel with the yellow highlights. Gets the same size, has the same temperament. They are striking, that jet black and that really bright lemon yellow color. It is definitely more of a harder fish to keep just because it's a thin eel that does like to sometimes escape like other eels. But the coloration by itself is just going to be the most stunning thing in your tank. And that is a large black ribbon eel. Next up is going to be a triggerfish. It's the Asasi triggerfish. It is a variant of the Picasso trigger, so it still has all the same colorings, just the markings are going to be slightly different. Temperament is pretty much the same. It can be one of the more aggressive triggers. So definitely a trigger to add to a more predatory aggressive tank, and I would recommend it being one of the last ones that you add to your tank. The size I can get for you for the Asasi trigger is actually going to be an extra large. It's going to be full grown. So if you've been looking for a fish to add to your tank, maybe your last one to add and you're not quite sure what to do, because it's an extra large, this would be a great last fish to put in your tank. Next, I have another octopus. It is the striped octopus, or better known as the wonderpus, or its scientific name is Wonderpus photogenicus. These guys are absolutely stunning. They have black and white bands that run all over their bodies, including down all of their arms. They have longer arms that are going to be a little bit longer and skinnier than some of your other ones. Very similar to the mimics, since the mimic does look just like them, which is one of the reasons why they're called a mimic. But these guys are beautiful. I can get you a medium striped or a wonderpus octopus. Octopus are pretty tricky to own and they're an expert fish just because they are crazy escape artists. We have to have a very safe, set up, specialized tank for the octopus. They are one of the most brilliant creatures on the entire planet. So if you want to get one of these octopus, we should have a conversation about some of the needs and things of keeping octopus. Last but not least is the zebra mantis shrimp. A lot of you guys are probably familiar with the peacock mantis shrimp. This is the zebra. So they have the same temperament, they get the same size, it's just coloration is going to be different. These guys are going to have black and white bands, which is why they're called the zebra. You know, kind of like zebras have with the black and white stripes. These guys really do need to be in an acrylic tank, not a glass tank, because if they wanted to, with their big claws and pinchers up front, they can crack glass tanks. So if you want to try one of these guys, I would only recommend them going into acrylic tanks for that reason. I can get you two sizes of these guys. I can get you larges and extra larges. So these guys are going to come in pretty much full grown as well. So those are the 5 fish that I can get in for you next week. Again, I always say if there's anything more expensive, more rare that you want that isn't on this list, give us a call, ask for me. Again, my name's Reagan or Hayden, and we can take a look for you on our vendor list to see if we might have what you're looking for. So now, let's go take a look, like I said, at the fish that I already have in the store for you. Alright guys, so first fish that I'm going to point out to you guys this week is this beautiful adult coloration orange shoulder tang. So as juveniles, they are actually bright yellow, but as adults, they become gray. You'll see a line down the center of their bodies where the front half will be a lighter gray and the back half will be dark. And then he has that really nice oval color on the side of his body that's going to be orange, which is where they get the name orange shoulder tang. Now, orange shoulder tangs do get a little bit larger So definitely a bigger tank for this guy, but not any bigger than some of your other larger bodied tanks. And these guys are deemed reef safe as well. So if you have corals and things like that, adding this guy into the tank is going to be a safe option. Now the other fish swimming around in the tank are going to be your beautiful STARKII or STARKII damsels. These guys have a little bit higher of a price point than some of your other types of damsels, but they are priced a little bit higher because of their absolutely just flawless coloration. You could, just a second ago when they were swimming up in the front, they are electric lemon yellow on their tail, on their mouths, under their chin, and along their top dorsal. And then their whole bodies are a beautiful fuchsia, just rich royal purple color. These are absolutely stunning. Now damsels are a little bit more aggressive than some of your other fish, but these are beautiful. They can go in a tank with other large fish, just like this orange shoulder tang, and they're gonna add a lot of color as well as a lot of activity to your tank as well. So you guys know that I love my puffy boys. So I got in another porcupine puffer for everyone, and he's a little nervous still, so he's gonna puff up just a little bit because we are standing right in front of him at the tank. Now this porcupine puffer is a little bit different. It's called a black blotch porcupine puffer. If you'll notice, his blotches on his body are gonna be a lot darker than a regular porcupine puffer. And he's got little tiny black freckles all over his body as well, which is another reason why they're called the black blotch. These guys have the same temperament and they get the same size, about a foot in length as your regular porcupines. Those beautiful blue sea green eyes that just looks like they have an entire galaxy inside them. These are known as the puppy dogs of the sea. Your puffers in general have such incredible personalities. Now these guys are not aggressive, but they are predatory, which means anything that they want to eat, like your shrimp, these guys are absolutely gonna eat. Chunky foods for this guy, big meaty foods, as well as clams on the half shell, again, to wear down their ever-growing beaks. But this black blotch porcupine puffer is already eating and already adjusted very well to the tank and already has a phenomenal personality. All right, so I was able to get in another true Australian Harlequin tusk, and you can see his teeth right there in the very, very front. They are bright, bright cobalt blue. That is one of the characteristics of the true Australian Harlequin tusk. You can also get these guys, like I said last week, from the Indian Ocean, but they're not gonna have those blue teeth like the true Australians, which is one reason why these Australians are highly sought after more than the Indian Ocean ones. This one is pretty large already. I would classify him as more of a large, medium large Harlequin tusk. As you can see, he already has a great weight on him. And like I said last week, fun fact, Harlequin tusks are actually a large-bodied wrasse. So these guys are wrasse, but since they do have those big teeth, clams on the half shell are gonna be another really good option for his food, as well as large, meaty foods as well. Because he's a large-bodied wrasse, Harlequin tusks typically do better if they're the only wrasse in the tank like your other large-bodied wrasses. They will eat your inverts. Even though they eat inverts, crab, snails, and shrimp, a lot of people still choose to have these guys in their reef tanks just because they add so much color. It is one of the most color-filled saltwater fish that you can possibly own. And if I could keep these guys in every week, which I'm gonna hopefully start doing, I will, because I would love for everyone to have one of these beautiful Australian Harlequin tusks. So next on our list is going to be this beautiful adult Formosa wrasse. So you can see that she's already got her adult coloration. She's got those black polka dots. She's got that beautiful yellow head and electric baby blue line that runs all the way up her face. That beautiful blue on her anal fin, and then that really, really nice orange-red color on the tail and on her top dorsal. She really won't get any bigger. This is pretty much full grown for a Formosa wrasse, as she will get maybe a little larger in size. These guys, again, are a large-bodied wrasse, so typically they play well with no other wrasses. They should be alone in the tank when it comes to keeping wrasses, but they are beautiful. These guys will eat your inverts, crab, snails, and shrimp, so more of a fish-only tank for her, but she is just drop-dead gorgeous. The other fish in the tank is one of my favorite fish of all times. It is the rectangle triggerfish. So this one right here is a good medium, small medium size rectangle trigger. Rectangle triggers can have an attitude, but in all of the rectangle triggers that I've kept, and I've kept a good number of them, I typically don't really have any aggression issues when it comes to the rectangles. They're pretty fair tempered. I've been able to keep them with a lot of different types of fish and never really had an issue. So if you're looking for a trigger fish to add to your tank that has some size and some color, but doesn't really have a huge mean attitude, the rectangle trigger is going to be a really good option. Now these guys will eat your inverts as well, and another really good food option for them is still going to be those clams on the half shell, because like the puffers, these guys have their teeth that are ever growing, and so those clams will help wear down their teeth as well. But both of these fish are fantastic for fish-only aquariums, and again, they add so much color, personality, and just true activity to your fish-only tank. So I got in some more seahorses, everyone. So the one we're looking at right now is a cute little black lined seahorse, your Hippocampus erectus. These ones are absolutely beautiful, and when you come in and look at them in person, you can see they have a lot of really cool striated and star and zebra patterns on their eyes and on their bodies as well. They're not just jet black. These guys do have really awesome coloration and patterns to them as well. Now the other seahorses I still have in the tank are going to be our Brazilian long snout seahorses, our orange and our yellows. These guys have been doing fabulous on frozen food for me for a while, and the regular lines that just came in, those are already eating frozen food for me as well. Now, we did post a video, including myself, that talks to you about seahorses and their care and what you need to take care of these guys in your home. So please watch that video or call the store, because these guys are a little bit trickier. They are an expert level fish. You can't just stick them in any type of tank. There are some different things we have to do to modify the aquarium as well to make sure that these guys are going to be safe in there. But we do encourage you to branch out and to try something like this, because these are tank raised, and so they are a lot easier to take care of than some of the wild caught ones from past years. But these are beautiful. Even if you don't get any, it is a true treat to come in and just look at the beauty and elegance of these seahorses. Alright guys, so this is the BUNDOON BLENNY. It is the sexiest BLENNY that I've ever seen, and a lot of people here at the store have used that word to describe him as well. You don't see one that looks like this very often. These guys are peaceful, they are reef safe, they don't get very big, they have that beautiful forked tail, they are lime green in the front, they are lemon yellow in the back, and have that gorgeous black dorsal, that black line that runs through them, and their chin, their belly, running all the way to that fork tail is going to be black as well. The coloration in this guy is absolutely phenomenal, and he's still going to color up even more. Because of all of those things I mentioned, the peacefulness, the reef safeness, just the coloration, the size. This is a fish that I would recommend everyone coming to get for their reef tanks. I can't get them in that often. This is a fairly new fish. This is only the second time that Fishy Business has ever had them. I can't really keep them in. The last one I got sold within a day. I really can't recommend them enough. They are stunning. They stay out all the time. You're going to be seeing them very frequently. They have a great appetite for carnivore diets. These guys are wonderful and all around A+.
Hi, it's Kevin. I'm here this week to show you the highlights of some of the best looking freshwater fish that we got in this week. Everybody in the store is being like, oh, you've got to show off those beautiful tropheus that we got in. And they're right. We got in some beautiful gold firecracker tropheus in. These are a Lake Tanganyika cichlid. They're not going to get that big, but they're pretty aggressive and will hold up with some of the bigger boys with no problem. We have some cool looking Columbia pike cichlids in. These guys will get possibly a little over a foot long and get a good bit of girth. They are not your regular cichlid in the fact that they pretty much are like a belly crawler. They usually hang out on the bottom all the time. Not really a free swimming fish, more of an ambush predator. We got in some really cool looking red and white fireball lobsters. These little guys will reach up to about 6 inches or so, possibly full size. Really cool addition to a tank as long as you're careful choosing tank mates. Personally, I would suggest keeping them in a 10-gallon tank or so by themselves for best results. We got in a nice looking batch of Celebese rainbows. One of my personal favorite rainbows. Great for color, very hardy. The males will get long streamers off the dorsal fin and the anal fin. Awesome addition to any community tank. We got in some gold DOJO loaches. These guys are really cool scavengers for any community tank with larger fish in it. They sometimes will dive down into the substrate and hide if they're not happy. One of my favorite choices for a good starter fish to start your tank cycle would be the brilliant reservoirs. They have a bright green neon stripe through them and a bright red tail. Really shows them up. They get pretty good size. They can reach up about 2 inches. Another excellent starter fish for starting out a new aquarium definitely would have to be the red-eyed tetras. These guys are one of the most durable tetras that you can roll with. I definitely would recommend starting out any new tank with these guys. We have been having a tough time getting in some common plecostomus of any size. This week we finally got some decent sized ones in. These guys are about 5 to 6 inches. They would be a great addition to a larger aquarium, but would definitely need to have a larger aquarium as a permanent home as they can exceed 20 inches in length. We got in some nice looking albino Polypterus senegalis. They do look a little similar to the gold DOJO loaches we just showcased, but they are a totally different animal. They are not a scavenger, they are an apex predator. These guys will reach over a foot long, so make sure that you choose tank mates accordingly, as they will gobble up anything that will fit in their mouth. We got in some really cute orandas. These guys have got a really large wen, which is basically in reference to the head growth on them. These guys came in looking really nice this week. Orandas are prized for that wen, the head growth on top of them, because it makes them look kind of like a bulldog. Really cute fish.
And just as an ending note, we got 90 gallons back in stock. Regular freshwater 90 gallons back in stock. So if you've been in the market for them, we haven't been able to get them in the last couple of weeks. We got 2 right now. And yeah, I hope to see you here this weekend. God bless, and I'll see you back here next week.